I think it's on.
Good morning.
Amen. Thank you. That's definitely not on, but that's okay. No, I think that Chad didn't do his job. I'm going to have to fire him or something. Chad, are we online? There you go. Chad, are we online? Okay, well, good morning. If we are online, good morning for those that are online with us. Happy to have you here. We have a nice lesson about, Nancy?
What?
About what?
The choices we make.
Choices. Do we make choices?
As long as we're awake.
Good one. As long as we are awake, we are constantly making choices. And some of those choices are so natural for us that we don't even make sense whether we are making a choice or not. We don't realize that we are making choices or not. Tell me, what choice have you made today that perhaps your brain didn't even think that you were making a choice? To be here this morning. Is that automatic for you?
That's just automatic.
That's just automatic. Ann?
You had to make a choice first to get out of bed.
Get out of bed. Now, am I going to get out of bed right now? Or should I snooze 5 more minutes? It's interesting that my wife and I went to Washington last week, but I came back on Monday because, well, some of us have to work. Not that she doesn't, but she has some time off. So she stayed over there in Washington with her friends and their mothers. And every morning I had to get up, not having her. I was like, I'm going to sleep late today. Last night, over the night. I'm going to sleep late. A few more minutes. Not even once I was able to sleep late. It's one of those things that your body is like, yep, time to get up. But that's one of the first decisions that we make in the morning. Should I get up? Should I stay a little bit longer? What else? What other decision that your brain doesn't even blink when you make it? Other decisions that we have made today or during the week that the brain doesn't even say, hey, that was a decision. And
You have to make your breakfast. You need to decide to get ready for work or ready for church, depending on what day it is. Every move you make, you're deciding something.
Yeah, every moment that we make, our body, our brain is making a decision. Let me give you another one. For example, the breakfast is a good one, but the breakfast you have to say, am I hungry now to do it? Would that be good enough? Or I'm just lazy and I'm not going to do anything for breakfast. I'm just going to grab whatever and go. But let me give you one that the body doesn't, that you don't even realize that you're making it. For example, you're driving. I think most of us drive. We're driving and you say, your brain say, that car is going too slow for me. And the brain starts making calculations. And you are just thinking about the music, the song. Your blesser has never been blessed by the cathedrals. And then you're listening to that, and your brain is making calculations. Should I go? Shouldn't I go? I think I can go. Okay, there's a car coming. Is that car coming fast enough to come in? Or the car is coming slow enough for me able to cross it? You know what? It's coming too fast. I'm going to stay over here. In the meantime, I'm going to put my signal. Click. How many of you think every time you put your signal to pass a car, I'm going to put the signal? How many of you think about that? You make a decision without really reasoning. Click. Then you put the signal, and as soon as the car goes by, you don't think or you don't realize that your brain is thinking, I am going to now move to the left and pass this car. And by the way, while I'm doing that, I need to put more gas. I need to go a little bit faster to be sure that I make the turn before the line ends. all those second decisions are happening without you thinking or realizing, more than thinking, without you realizing that you are making a decision. Automatic. How many times have you think about it or you realize they said, I'm going to stay within my line when I'm driving. I'm going to stay between my two lines. I'm going to stay there. How many of you really think, I'm going to stay in my two lines? It is automatic thinking. One of my sons, I'm not going to tell you his name because in case he's watching, but he's the oldest. He used to go around, and when he was learning to drive, and I always told him, don't look at me, don't look at anywhere, because this is what he did. Let's say he puts the blank, he looked over his shoulder like this. So when he looked over the shoulder, immediately it was just like that. And I was like, oh. No. Your neck is attached to the arm. Doesn't mean you have to move your arm. Same thing, when I turn to the right, put the signal, I look like this, and immediately start going. It's like decisions. We are constantly making decisions. How many of us to this day regret choices that you have made? Choices that you have made. Many times some of those choices are because we are perhaps careless in what we do. My brother-in-law, my sister's husband, one day he was teaching. He studied theology. My sister studied to be a teacher. So they were both teaching. And one day, my sister said that all her students started laughing about her husband. Finally, my sister said, "Okay, what's going on with my husband?" I said, "Have you seen him?" "No, I haven't seen him." And then she went looking for him, the recess, she went looking for him, and he was clueless why everybody was laughing. And finally, my sister saw him for a little far away, and she realized she started laughing as well. He put 2 different pairs of shoes that day. They were not even look alike. Not like I got confused, they're pretty much the same pair of shoes, just a different color. No, completely different pair of shoes. One is a slip-in and the other one a tight. My sister telling the story, my sister is like, come on, you have to realize you didn't tie up one of those shoes. Decisions that we regret. And
sometimes we can regret a decision we made not to do something. I remember in academy, I had a roommate for a short period of time, and she left, and later, I think 1 or 2 of her sisters came, and they weren't fitting in very well, and she wanted everybody to try to give them a hand, as it were, and I didn't. I didn't do anything bad to them, but I didn't really do anything good either. And I have regretted that. Though I wouldn't know him from anybody if I saw him now, it
still bothers you.
Can regret that I didn't do something,
Okay.
as well as some other things I can regret that I did do.
Yeah. So the regret of the decision, it's a great point, Anne, by the way. The regrets of the decisions that we make will also should be applied for the regret of decisions that we could have made that we didn't. It's taken in the light way. I always thought when I was a teenager, the person that had allergies, a bunch of wimps. My cousin had allergies. He has allergies to every single possible kind of pollen, I believe. There was some period of time that my cousin couldn't go out because he was due to allergies. I was like, I used to tell him, you're just a wimp. I didn't have allergies. Well, the last 25 years, it's been a difference that I regret what I told my cousin. This time of the year, when the pollen is go out, and I live in Fillmore, last night when I got home from the Bible study here, the smell of the oranges is delicious for about 3.5 seconds for me. Right after the smell of the oranges, the blossoms, yeah. My nose gets plucked, my eyes start tearing, I start sneezing 100 times a second, without exaggeration, and immediately, allergies, and I had to carry this. So let's talk about the decisions that you regret. Sometimes you feel that the allergy is coming up, and you choose, say, no, it's not too bad, I'm not going to take my pill, or I'm not going to use my spray for the allergies. As soon that you're far away from that spray and from that medication, you regret you're doing this. You're in the car, you start sneezing, your eye watering, you have all this, and you have a whole day of misery. Decisions can be, the regret of the decisions can be made for the decisions that we didn't make or for the decisions that we make. Now, let's talk about the spiritual side. Bless you. Do you need a medication for allergy? Some Christians believe that God has chosen, even from the time, even from the beginning, even before the person was born, that God chose whether this individual is safe or not. What do you think about that? Would that be a God that you want to be related to? Silence.
He chose for all of us to be saved, but we have to choose also, or else it doesn't.
But that's not
go.
my question. Will you be happy to relate to a God that already has chosen, even before you have it burned, even before you ever existed, even before you had an opportunity to do anything wrong, decided you're not going to be safe?
The or not is the bad part.
Would you want to be related to that God? It doesn't matter what you did. It didn't matter, and some Christians believe this. Some Christians believe that before we were born, we were assigned whether we're going to be saved or not. And even if you have a good relationship, an excellent relationship, even if you seek God, sorry, you have a mark, you're never going to be safe. Would you like to have a God relationship with a God like that? A God that says, Lord, I want to seek you, and I am studying, I am learning, I want to have that relationship with God, and that God tells you, you are lost, my boy. You are, look at that X over there, the little black mark in your cheek, that's the sign that you are never going to be safe. We, Seventh-day Adventists, believe in something different. What is it that we believe in? It's a very quiet class today. And I'm glad you came in because you and I. What is that we believe? We believe that God has given us the power of what?
Choice.
Power or choice. Choice for what? Let's borrow let's give the mic to your sister.
God gives us free will to make decisions, but we need to make the right decisions.
Correct.
And we do have the choice of doing right or doing wrong.
When I was growing up, and absolutely right, when I was growing up and I was learning about the tithe and offerings, and I was learning a lot from that from my dad. My dad says something that even up to this date, I remember. He said the blessing on the tithe, or one of the blessings, actually, not the blessing. One of the blessings of the tithe is that you have an opportunity. You have an opportunity to not give it. and you do it in spite of that. And I remember why. Why would have an opportunity of not giving it? It's a blessing in itself, because every time you give it, it's a blessing of obedience. So we have the choice. What you said. We have the choice of not doing it. We Seventh-day Adventists, we don't ascribe to that theology. Instead, we believe that God has chosen all of us to be saved. Answer that. God choose every single one of us, including me, to be saved. Continue saying, God has chosen all of us to be saved. And even before the world began, we were chosen in Him to have eternal life. What do you think? So now we are not stuck in a lose proposition. We are stuck in the win proposition. You are chosen to be saved. Even this guy here. We are marked to be saved. Now, what's the difference? What's the difference? He has given human most sacred gift. A most sacred gift. And that is what? What is it? What is that sacred gift? It's free will. Free choice. All right. Anne, since you are the one that has been speaking to me this morning, which I appreciate it, why did you choose to wear a blue dress today?
Because I like it.
There you go. Isn't that free will? You had another choices. That's right. You have another options, but you choose to wear blue today. By the way, it looks very pretty. Why do we choose? Is because we have a choice. Same thing with our Christian life. We all have been chosen to be saved. Yet, we have the right not wanted to be saved.
He reaches out to us.
Let's use the mic.
He reaches out to us, but we have to reach back.
We have to reach back. We have to make a decision. We have to make a decision. Now, remember earlier we were talking about making decisions that sometimes we're not conscious about. That's why I started with that, because I wanted to get to this point. Again, you're behind the car, it's going a little bit slower than you want to be. Your brain, you're listening to the music, enjoy the music. Your brain automatically starts making calculations and making decisions without you necessarily be conscious of those decisions. Even to the point of putting the signal is unreally, brain is not really telling you, you're not really conscious of, I'm putting the signal and moving. Oh, sometimes, most of the times. This decision of deciding to be saved is not one of those. It's not automatic. It's not something that you can do without conscience. That decision is something that you have to be conscious every single day of your life to be able to make it happen. There's a big difference. We can never get to heaven in an automatic mode. Never. Oh, it takes me whatever it takes me. No. You have to be conscious of that decision. Now notice, let's go to Matthew 22, 33 to 37. Matthew 22, start in verse, hang on a second, Matthew 35, I'm sorry. Matthew 22, verse 33 to 37. Nancy, Anna's giving you the mic. Matthew 22, 30, 35, 36, and 37.
And when the multitudes heard this, they were astonished at his teaching. But when the Pharisees heard that he had silenced the Sadducees, they gathered together. Then one of them, whoops, I lost it. Then one of them, let's back up and find it. A lawyer asked him a question, testing him and saying, "Teacher, which is the great commandment in the law?" Did you say 37?
37.
Jesus said to him, "You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your mind. This is the first and great commandment. And the second is like, you shall love your neighbor as yourself."
All right, let's just keep it there. The question that he was tested by is, which one is the best commandment? Which is the first? Which is the most important of all the commandments? And Jesus' answer says, you shall what? Love. Okay, as far as the decision making, which is the key word? Let's go back. What is the key word of Jesus' response in verse 37?
Love.
No. As far as the decision making, which one is the key word? Shall. As far as making a decision, the word is shall. Another version that I have a New Living Translation says, you must. Meaning what? That you should. You shall. That you have an option not to. So even loving God is optional. Even loving God is optional. You should seek God's love. You shall every day. Do you have an option not to? If God will force us to leave, so even loving God would not give us the choice, is optional. How that text will read. Even loving God is optional.
If
you should seek.
You have chosen, and you're going that way. If you choose
God's law, you shall every day. Do you have an option not to? If God will force us to leave, so even loving God is optional. That text will read.
You have baggage doesn't work with your choice.
That's right. Their package is that. Even loving God is the God you shall, and you should seek. In His wonderful wisdom is God's law. You shall. Do you have an option not to? If God will force us to leave, so even loving God is optional. That text will read. Isn't that interesting?
Baggage doesn't work with your choice.
No. That's right. Their package is that. Even loving God is the God you shall, and you should seek. Because I say so. In His wonderful wisdom is God's law. You shall. Do you have an option not to? If God will force us to leave, so even loving God is optional. That text God has chosen us for something. Isn't that interesting? But in the end, we have to make the choice. Even loving God is the God you shall, and you should seek. Because I say so. In His wonderful wisdom is God's law. You shall. God allow us to make. Do you have an option not to? If God will force us to leave, so even loving God is optional. That text God has chosen us for something. Isn't that interesting? But in the end, we have to make the choice. Even loving God is the God you shall, and you should seek. Because I say so. in His wonderful wisdom, every time is given us, you shall. God allow us to make decisions. You have an option not to. If God will force us to leave, so even loving God is optional. That God has chosen us for salvation. Isn't that interesting? But in the to the choice, even loving God is the God. You shall in His. We're talking about somebody in His wonderful wisdom. Every time is given us, you shall. God allow us to make. You have an option not to. If God will force us to leave, so even loving God is optional. That God has chosen. I remember thinking about that. Isn't that interesting? To the choice, even loving God is the God. You shall in His. We're talking about somebody in His wonderful wisdom. Imagine God. You shall. God allow us to. You have an option not to. If God will force us to leave, so even loving God is optional. That God has chosen. I remember thinking about that. Isn't that interesting? To the choice, even loving God is God. You shall in His. We're talking about somebody in His wonderful wisdom. Imagine God. You shall. God allow us to. You have an option not to. If God will force us to leave, so even loving God is optional. That God has chosen. I remember thinking about that. Isn't that interesting? We have the right to even loving God is God. You shall in His. We're talking about somebody in His wonderful wisdom. Imagine God. You shall. God allow us to. You have an option not to. If God will force us to leave, so even loving God is optional. That God has a position that I remember thinking about. Isn't that interesting? We have the right to even loving God is God. You shall in His. We're talking about somebody in His wonderful wisdom. Imagine God. You shall. God allow us to. You have an option not to. If God will force us to leave, so even loving God is optional. That God has a position that I remember thinking about. Isn't that interesting? We have the right to even loving God is God. You shall in His. We're talking about somebody in His wonderful wisdom. Imagine God. You shall. God allow us to. You have an option not to. If God will force us to leave, so even loving God is optional. That God has a position that I remember thinking about. Isn't that interesting? We have the right to even loving God is God. You shall in His. We're talking about somebody in His wonderful wisdom. Imagine God. You shall. God allow us to. You have an option not to. If God will force us to leave, so even loving God is optional. That God has a position that I remember thinking about. Isn't that interesting? We have the right to even loving God is God. You shall in His. We're talking about somebody in His wonderful wisdom. Imagine God. You shall. God allow us to. You have an option not to. If God will force us to leave, so even loving God is optional. That God has a position that I remember thinking about. Isn't that interesting? We have the right to even loving God is God. You shall in His. We're talking about somebody who wants to read. Imagine God. You shall. God allow us to. You have an option not to. If God will force us to leave, so even loving God is optional. That God has a position that I remember thinking about. Isn't that interesting? We have the right to even loving God is Isaiah 5:17. We're talking about somebody who wants to read. Imagine God. You shall. What is it? You have an option not to. Tell it. Verse Psalm 1. Loving God is optional. Psalm 1. Proverbs 3. Isaiah 5:1. Proverbs 3, Isaiah 5:1. Next one.